In this video, we're going to visit every single state and quickly take a look at 50 amazing freshwater fishing destinations, along with the fish species that you can catch there. When it comes to identifying which lake or river has the best fishing in each state, please note that opinions may vary and there's no one correct answer, as it just largely depends on what you value in a fishery. Things like species diversity, fish size, fish numbers, accessibility, and scenery. The places listed in this video are in most cases the most broadly accepted as an overall excellent place to fish. I make a lot of regional fishing videos on the species of North America, so if that seems like something you'd like, please consider subscribing. Also, there's a pretty good likelihood that I'm going to mispronounce some of these names of some of these places as I'm not familiar with all of them, so please have patience with me there. Located in North Alabama, Lake Guntersville spans over 69,000 acres, making it the largest lake in the state. It's renowned for its premier bass fishery, both largemouth and smallmouth, and it also holds abundant crappie, bluegill, catfish, and sunfish. The lake's open coves, islands, and consistent water levels create ideal spawning and feeding grounds, making it a bucket list destination for anglers. Flowing around 82 miles from Kenai Lake to the Cook Inlet on the Kenai Peninsula, the Kenai River is Alaska's most popular sport fishing river. It supports all 4 Pacific salmon species: Chinook, sockeye, silver, and pink. It also contains steelhead and trophy dolly varden. The river is world famous for producing the world record Chinook salmon at 97 pounds or 44 kilos. This fish was caught in 1985, but fish that size still can be found in that area. This record still stands and draws in anglers from all around the world hoping to catch a fish that big. The Kenai's clear glacial waters and prolific salmon runs make it a legendary destination for serious salmon and trout fishing. Straddling the Arizona-California border on the Colorado River, Lake Havasu is a 25-mile-long reservoir known for its warm water sport fishing. It produces trophy largemouth, smallmouth, and striped bass along with crappie, carp, catfish, bluegill, and red ear sunfish. In fact, the world record red ear sunfish was caught at Lake Havasu at 6 pounds 4 ounces. Anglers often report catching huge striped bass on Lake Havasu. Lake Washita is widely regarded as one of the nation's top bass lakes. It ranks in the top 10 U.S. lakes for trophy largemouth bass and has over 100 undeveloped islands and coves. The lake also supports a premier striped bass fishery with many stripers in the 30-plus pound range. Notably, Lake Washita produced Arkansas's state record channel catfish at 38 pounds in 1989. Its clear waters over a rocky, forested lake bed make Lake Washita's bass and striper fishing exceptional. Clear Lake in Lake County, California is California's largest natural freshwater lake. It has the nickname the Bass Capital of the West. 2/3 of the fish caught here are largemouth, including a 17.5-pound state record. Clear Lake also supports black crappie, bluegill, carp, catfish, and red ear sunfish. In just 2021, the lake yielded California's state record black crappie. Its clear, shallow bays and extensive weedy areas create the perfect habitat for trophy bass and panfish. Regular bass tournaments and decades of management have cemented Clear Lake's reputation as a historic trophy fishery. Blue Mesa Reservoir is Colorado's largest lake and is a premier trophy trout reservoir. The lake consistently produces giant lake trout, with anglers routinely landing 30 to 40-pound fish. In 2023, a 73-pound lake trout was caught here, crushing the previous state record by over 20 pounds. In addition to lake trout, the lake holds a healthy brown trout and rainbow trout population and has large runs of kokanee salmon. Blue Mesa is without a doubt an excellent fishery. The Connecticut River offers a surprising variety of fish. It boasts one of the East Coast's best American shad fisheries in the spring, and its lower tidal reaches hold trophy Atlantic striped bass. Upstream, anglers target wild smallmouth bass, largemouth, walleye, pickerel, and panfish. There are even reintroduced Atlantic salmon and trout in some of the tributaries. The river's mix of migratory runs and diverse habitat make it a really neat multi-species fishery. The nearby tidal Delaware River also combines freshwater and brackish fishing. It is also famed for American shad runs and holds excellent striped bass and catfish opportunities. The upstream river also produces smallmouth, largemouth, walleye, white perch, and pickerel. In South Florida, Lake Okeechobee is world-renowned for its trophy largemouth bass. Its vast grass flats produce dozens of double-digit bass each year, and Florida's record 15-pound bass was landed here. It also has excellent panfish and great bowfin populations. Introduced peacock bass, along with dozens of other introduced tropical species, thrive in the canals leading to this lake. The conditions of dense vegetation, along with year-round warm weather and intensive fisheries management, make this lake a trophy bass and panfish fishery. North of Atlanta, Lake Lanier is a wonderful trophy bass and striper lake. It produced the Georgia state record largemouth bass at 17 pounds 9 ounces, and it also harbors crappie, sunfish, walleye, and blue catfish. The lake's deep rocky arms and submerged timber support prolific bass spawning and cover. Its sustained trophy reputation is reflected in major bass tournaments hosted there, and the lake carries a title as one of the South's premier bass fishing destinations. Hawaii isn't necessarily known for freshwater fishing, however there is a small reservoir in central Oahu that holds some decent fish. Lake Wilson was stocked with largemouth bass, black crappie, bluegill, channel catfish, and even peacock bass and tilapia. Lake Wilson did produce Hawaii's largest freshwater fish with a channel catfish at 43 pounds and 13 ounces. The Snake River in Idaho offers a wide range of fishing opportunities. Idaho's portion of the Snake River, especially in Hells Canyon, yields massive white sturgeon and steelhead. The river is also known for producing many smallmouth bass. The Snake River is best fished by boat, but there's opportunities for shore fishing as well. Forming Illinois' western border, the Mississippi River is famed for giant catfish and paddlefish, among many other species. Anglers pursue giant blue and flathead catfish in the river's deep holes and bends. The Illinois side of the river has excellent smallmouth and largemouth bass fishing opportunities as well. In some stretches, there's also opportunities for sturgeon fishing. As one of the world's largest river systems, the Mississippi is a trophy fishery for Midwest anglers. Not too far is the Ohio River along Indiana's south border, which is also legendary for big catfish. In fact, it yielded Indiana's state record blue catfish at 104 pounds in 1999. The Ohio River also holds many of the same species just previously mentioned in the Mississippi River, some other notable ones being freshwater drum and the invasive species of Asian carp. Still in that same region, Iowa's eastern border is the Mississippi River, and for the same reasons as previously mentioned, the Mississippi River is a standout fishery in this state. Milford Lake is the largest lake in Kansas. It has abundant walleye and white bass, plus nationally recognized largemouth, spotted, and even smallmouth bass. In fact, the Kansas state record smallmouth bass was caught in Milford. Crappie and catfish are plentiful as well. A string of professional walleye and bass tournaments are held here, just attesting to Milford's status as a premier fishing destination in the Midwest. Kentucky Lake is a 160,000-acre impoundment of the Tennessee River. It's famous for producing giant striped bass and has historically yielded enormous blue and channel catfish. Anglers also catch big largemouth and smallmouth bass, white bass, crappie, and freshwater drum. Some unique features include its warm tailwaters and extensive flats that provide ideal striper and catfish habitat. Regular stocking and multi-state fisheries management keep Kentucky Lake among the country's most productive trophy fisheries. On the border of Louisiana and Texas, Toledo Bend Reservoir is consistently ranked as a top bass lake. It produces monster largemouth and hybrid bass, and also alligator gar. A bow fishing angler here landed a 181-pound alligator gar, highlighting the remarkable sizes of some of the fish found here. The lake also yields crappie, catfish, and sunfish. The vast timber and vegetated flats plus constant water levels create a superb habitat. Moosehead Lake is a large wilderness lake in north-central Maine. It is the state's premier salmon and trout fishery. The lake holds landlocked Atlantic salmon, lake trout, and brook trout, all thriving in its cold, deep waters. The lake has been fished since the 1800s, producing trophy landlocked salmon and lake trout for many years. Its undeveloped shoreline and clear, cold depths make the lake very appealing to anglers. The Warmwater Potomac River stretches from Cumberland to DC and is Maryland's most popular fishing river. It offers year-round opportunities for stocked walleye, trophy smallmouth, introduced muskie, and channel catfish. Also found in the river are largemouth bass and hybrid striped bass. In the lower tidal portions of the river, big striped bass and blue catfish are targeted, giving this river a wide variety of species and opportunities. Quabbin Reservoir is a large reservoir in central Massachusetts. It is a cold, clear system holding stocked trout and salmon. The state record lake trout was caught here at 25 pounds. Anglers primarily fish Quabbin for lake trout, landlocked salmon, brown trout, and chain pickerel. Its deep rocky structure provides prime spawning habitat for these cold water species. Because it's a protected watershed, Quabbin lacks much shoreline development, making it a place that's appealing and peaceful for anglers. Bordering Ontario, Lake St. Clair is a small Great Lake famed for giant smallmouth bass. Lake St. Clair also has excellent walleye, muskie, and northern pike fishing, and it's part of the Great Lakes salmon-trout corridor, meaning that steelhead and salmon run into its tributaries. The lake's combination of weedy bays and deep basins, plus strong catch and release ethics, have made this one of North America's premier fisheries. I've heard some incredible things about Lake St. Clair, and this is a place I definitely want to fish someday. Another place that's high on my list to fish someday is Lake of the Woods in northern Minnesota. Lake of the Woods is a massive 725-acre lake shared with the border of Canada. This lake offers one of North America's most diverse fisheries. It is arguably the world's top walleye lake, and its perch are also legendary. The lake also has trophy northern pike and huge muskie, with 40 to 50-inch muskies landed regularly. The lake also has lake sturgeon, which can grow to huge sizes as well. With endless islands and unparalleled habitat variety, Lake of the Woods grows giants and is a bucket list fishery for multiple trophy species. Ross Barnett Reservoir is known for big warmwater fish. Largemouth bass and white bass are both popular here. The lake also produces huge blue catfish and big crappie. Its combination of backwaters, submerged timber, and firm oxygenated flats create a productive mixed fishery for central Mississippi. Lake of the Ozarks is a 54,000-acre winding reservoir in central Missouri. The lake is famous for crappie, white bass, and largemouth. Lake of the Ozarks has produced multiple record bass for Missouri. Its stratified, rich waters, coupled with vast creeks and vegetation, make it a year-round trophy fishery embraced by anglers throughout the Midwest. The Missouri River runs through much of Montana and is a prime fishery for trout, sturgeon, and paddlefish. Above, dam-tail waters produce brown trout and rainbow trout over 20 pounds. And downriver, anglers can catch catfish and giant paddlefish. The river's diversity of species yields a unique fisheries assemblage with big fish throughout the entire river. Lewis and Clark Lake is a 31,000-acre reservoir on the Missouri River of the Nebraska-South Dakota border. The reservoir is known as a walleye and white bass stronghold. The lake also has flathead and channel catfish, sauger, and spotted bass. There is also a large population of freshwater drum found in the reservoir. Overall, Lewis and Clark offers a productive mix of main river and tributary opportunities. Pyramid Lake is a huge desert lake found in northwestern Nevada. The lake is legendary as a trout fishery and holds the world record Lahontan cutthroat trout at 41 pounds. Anglers come from all over the world to target these massive cutthroat trout. The lake's clear, deep waters create a unique, high desert fishery. With strict tribal regulations, Pyramid supports an ideal catch and release trout population. It's a world-class trout fishery with genetically pure trout found nowhere else on Earth. New Hampshire's Lake Winnipesaukee is a diverse fishery holding cold water species like landlocked salmon and lake trout in its deep northern basins, and also warm water species like bass and panfish along its shallower shorelines. Its vast shallows teem with perch and pickerel, and its tributary rivers produce trout. This unique blend of species makes it an all-season fishery for the state of New Hampshire. Going back to the Delaware River, but this time on the New Jersey border, it is similarly famous for striped bass and shad. Similar to the Delaware portion, this river's combination of tidal influence and steady flows create varied habitats which anglers prize. Elephant Butte Reservoir on the Rio Grande is New Mexico's largest lake and warmwater fishery. It is best known for striped bass and holds the state record striper at 54 pounds 8 ounces. Largemouth bass, white bass, crappie, and catfish can all be found here. Interestingly, trout are also stocked here. Elephant Butte is a unique dual-purpose reservoir, being that it supports both cold water trout and large warm water game fish. Flowing from Lake Ontario along northern New York, the St. Lawrence is famed for trophy muskie and smallmouth bass. In 2020, an angler caught a record muskie at 53 inches. Smallmouth bass fishing is also spectacular here, with plenty of fish in the 4 to 6 pound range. This river even has Pacific salmon runs from Chinook and coho salmon, which are stocked from Lake Ontario programs. The St. Lawrence River is an incredible fishery cherished by many in the region. Lake Fontana has some wonderful fishing for migratory walleye, white bass, and even landlocked salmon. At certain times of the year, there are huge schools of walleye and white bass found at the river mouths. The lake also has some good largemouth and smallmouth bass, crappie, and catfish. Its remote forested shoreline and clear waters make it scenic, and it has a biologically unique role from most other fisheries in this region. Devil's Lake is North Dakota's largest natural lake. The lake is famed for its booming walleye and perch fisheries. Self-sustaining walleye populations produce abundant 16 to 20 inch fish, so anglers often catch limits from shore or from boat. Yellow perch grow very large and are plentiful in the lake's bays. Northern pike also thrive here as well. For many Midwestern anglers, catching walleye by the dozens on Devil's Lake each spring is a bucket list event. Bordering northern Ohio is Lake Erie, and it's internationally famous for walleye and smallmouth fishing. Record perch at over 5 pounds have also been caught here. Erie also has steelhead, chinook, and coho salmon. This combination of species and productive water make Lake Erie a great fishing destination. An 89,000-acre reservoir on the Red River, Lake Texoma is one of America's largest striped bass fisheries, and fish over 50 pounds have been landed here. White bass and walleye thrive as well, making Lake Texoma a multi-species favorite. Crappie and catfish and even gar add to the catch. There's no doubt that Lake Texoma is a wonderful multi-species fishery. Along Oregon's north border, the Columbia River is one of the best premier salmon and steelhead systems. Delivering gigantic chinook and steelhead, the river also sustains huge white sturgeon, many being over 7 or 8 feet. The warm water fishing for smallmouth bass and walleye can also be excellent here. The Susquehanna River flows through Pennsylvania into Chesapeake Bay. It's famous for its giant fish and its anadromous runs. Here anglers target a variety of species, both stocked and natural, including stocked trout in some of its tributaries. Each spring, American shad and striped bass migrate into the lower Susquehanna River. Due to its small size, Rhode Island is a bit lacking when it comes to world-class freshwater fishing. However, there are still some decent opportunities in the state. Worden Pond being one of them. This is one of Rhode Island's largest fishable lakes, and it supports largemouth, smallmouth, chain pickerel, yellow perch, bluegill, and pumpkin seed. There are 2 connected reservoirs on the Santee River in central South Carolina, Lake Marion and Lake Moultrie. These lakes have long been known for producing large fish. South Carolina's state record largemouth bass was caught here at 18 pounds, and bass over 8 pounds are consistently caught here in the summer. The lake also supports many striped bass, excellent crappie and white perch fishing, along with catfish, both blue and flathead. Lake Oahe is a huge 370,000-acre reservoir impoundment on the Missouri River. It is best known for phenomenal walleye fishing as well as abundant sauger, paddlefish, and northern pike. This reservoir has miles and miles of shoreline and many different fish species to target. On the Cumberland River on the Kentucky-Tennessee border, Dale Hollow is famous for bass. It produced the world record smallmouth bass at 11 pounds 15 ounces, caught in 1957, and 5 of the 10 biggest largemouth ever weighed were caught here. The lake also offers crappie, stripers, and channel cats. Texas has a few reservoirs that could be considered the best, but Lake Fork was the one that came up the most. This lake is in northeastern Texas and is arguably the nation's bass capital. In 1986, a humongous 25-pound largemouth bass was caught here, with many large specimens being caught ever since. The lake's underwater cedar and willow structure, managed water levels, and heavy stocking create the perfect recipe for giant bass. There's really no other lake in the world that yields bass of this size and quantity, making Lake Fork a bucket list fishery. Lake Powell is a 254,000-acre Colorado River reservoir on the Arizona-Utah border. It is best known for warmwater species like striped bass, crappie, walleye, largemouth, smallmouth, and channel catfish. Its unique feature is the canyon topography, deep clear water surrounded by red sandstone cliffs. While it lacks cooler trout waters, Lake Powell's visual scenery provides a distinctive desert fishing experience that's unlike any other. Lake Champlain is a large lake found on Vermont's western border and is famous for big fish. The lake has produced enormous lake trout and has a wide variety of many other species, both warm water and cold water. Smith Mountain Lake is a renowned bass fishery. It supports trophy largemouth and spotted bass, and historically held the Virginia striper record. White bass, crappie, and catfish are all plentiful. Its clear mountain water and abundant submerged brush provide some exceptional habitat. A bit of the repeat of Oregon, the Columbia River flows on the south border of Washington and offers world-class salmon, steelhead, and sturgeon. It is definitely a bucket list destination for the Pacific Northwest. Flowing through Charleston, West Virginia, the Kanawha River is a productive warmwater river known for producing big catfish and holding a good population of a wide variety of fish. Lake Winnebago is a shallow lake in east-central Wisconsin, world famous for perch, walleye, and sturgeon. Its combination of extensive marshes and large open water make it a one-of-a-kind freshwater fishery in the Midwest, and I've heard some spectacular things about this place. Flaming Gorge is a large reservoir of the Green River on the Utah-Wyoming border. Flaming Gorge is famed for trophy trout, especially lake trout. The lake also holds kokanee salmon, cutthroat, smallmouth bass, and burbot. Flaming Gorge offers some beautiful scenery and trophy fishing. I don't know about you, but after making this video, I had some bucket list overload. There are just so many incredible places to fish and species to catch. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.